What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. All right. Well, if you have been sleeping on DigiCon, and I have been guilty of that in the past. I've actually attended, I think, 2 of them so far, and they're pretty cool events. You know, you get to hear a lot of different speakers, a lot of different projects that are on the Hive blockchain. Well, if you've been sleeping on it, then this may be the reason to not sleep on it in the future. Now, DigiCon happens every other month. It's, I believe, a free, kind of digital event to attend, a digital conference that lasts the entire weekend. Agrod is usually a recurring speaker, so the founder, one of the co-founders of Splinterlands is there. And now, if you have not already seen on my screen, there is a screenshot circulating regarding the Life Legendary Summoner that is upcoming as the next airdrop. This is Grandmaster Wraith, and, well, what we're seeing is potentially a sneak peek that is provided by the team to be first seen at DigiCon 9. So this is exciting. I'm going to say that I have like 99% confidence that this is accurate. Now, the thing is, there's a couple things we're going to need to get from this. Stats can always change. And this has been circulating around the Mav chat, so people are definitely talking about it already. So I thought, excuse me. So I thought I would start covering it here. Now, the thing is, from an ability standpoint, we have armor and void armor, 2 of which that we kind of called already based on the hint that Matt gave us very recently. But there is a third ability, which is Amplify, and I think that is going to make things really, really interesting. The other big takeaway from this is that the card, or the summoner, is only 6 mana. So, a lot of folks, including myself, thought that we may get 8 mana summoners because, as a way to preserve the Untamed summoners and the value of the Untamed summoners, I could see an 8 mana summoner coming out to be just as powerful, but with like 1 mana more, right? And sometimes, not all the time, like 1 mana can make a difference, but it's not going to be make or break in many situations, especially if you're playing with some, pretty powerful cards or pretty powerful summoners such as this. So Grandmaster Wraith is looking really cool right now. I like what I see, and I figured we could do another kind of dive into the cards that will be affected in life. Now, I don't care about what's happening in Wild, so we're really just going to stay with Modern format right now, and I haven't even done a full deep dive into this. I've included some of the rest of Modern because we already kind of talked about Chaos Legion, but we didn't know that Amplify was going to be in there. So I kind of want to take a look and see off the bat. We can go kind of legendary or by rarity. And, I already said that Uriel the Purifier is going to be a huge, huge benefit from this because he comes with 6 armor. And anybody that has armor already is going to get a huge benefit because that armor will be converted to void armor. So it'll make them very magic resistant. So Uriel the Purifier is fantastic for this, as well as Adelaide Brightwing. So Adelaide Brightwing comes with the what's this called? Armor repair. Yeah, repair at the 1st level. And so that is going to be very, very clutch. Now, for those who can stomach the price and try to grab a Crawless, if you can get Crawless, here is another card that, well, looking at level 1, for example, you don't get the self-heal, but does have immunity and flying, as well as a double attack, plus the 5 armor. Now, can you just imagine at some point in the future, or we don't have to imagine it's going to happen, but a self-heal and a self-healing that has void armor as well? I mean, you pair her with someone like, well, I guess like the other card we were just looking at, Adelaide Brightwing. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, that actually kind of makes Uriel the Purifier and Crawless both unique in certain situations, but with a same or similar kind of ability set, right? They both have the self-heal. They both have a lot of mana. They're both technically giants. And, the immunity comes in handy for Crawless, obviously. So that could be something really, really interesting to watch. Doesn't look like Lensmaster is going to offer anything. So let's go ahead now down to the epic cards. Now, I can't see these in all of their glory, but one card that I think gets a little devalued is going to be Dax Paragon, because Dax Paragon is the Amplify summoner. Now, I like this card, but it's not as powerful as I would like it to be. I like the fact that it's 2 mana, and so I can slip it into certain battles. But in games where I know that I'm going to be, going up against heavy magic or whatever, and I want to put some magic reflect in there, I'd like to have a little more offense, and he doesn't really provide that. I mean, even at the highest level, he's doing 2 damage, and he's not very fast, although that affliction is nice. So if you are going to get the legendary summoner, you may not need to get this card, right? So I do think that this card kind of gets nerfed somewhat by the fact that the legendary summoner can override the main ability that he provides. Now, looking at Prismologist, Prismologist is another one of the Chaos Legion cards that I think is fantastic and will be one of those where you get silence at the highest levels, but also now with the let's put it this way, with the armor she has already turning into void armor as well, what you're going to have is potentially an awesome tank, an anti-magic tank that you can throw right up front during those close range battles, right? Where ranged monsters can attack from the front. So that is going to be something I think worth watching, or at least worth looking at for Prismologist. Now, with some of these others, I don't know that there's any kind of direct benefits when it comes to the epic cards. I didn't see anything when I did an earlier scan. But let me just pop in here just to make sure. I mean, look, I think a lot of these cards are going to have some benefits regardless. So let's see here. Oh, Last Stand. Shield could make it interesting. But, I mean, yeah, here's another card that you could throw on right in front. Although Last Stand, you'd probably want him to be right there at the end. Okay, so now let's go down into the rares. And I think we have a very clear winner here with the rares, which is going to be Shield Bearer. Now, most people play, myself included, most people play with this card at the bare minimum, which is just a taunt, so more so very distractive, right? But now, with the 4 armor that he gets at level 1, it's like gaining an additional 4 hit points. Plus, if there's an additional armor, you're adding 1 more hit point on there because magic can no longer penetrate underneath the armor. On top of that, for those who have him at level 5 or higher, just look at this dude. You get shield as well as the additional armor, the additional health. I mean, he's going to be one hell of a tank to pair with Grandmaster Wraith. So this is a card probably might be the biggest winner just due to the fact that it's not a legendary card. Although when you look at the card prices and the card values, I think it's like 4th highest. So this is definitely a card that's going to benefit from it. If you can get one, you'll be sitting kind of pretty. Truth Speaker, I would say probably provides a little bit because, again, maybe in like lower mana matches, or if you can get this leveled up to the point that it has cleanse and even tank heal, just providing protection when that protection is going to be enhanced with void armor is going to be very, very nice. Time Mage is more an offensive weapon, I would say. Yeah, you get Rust, which is for your opponent. So maybe if you're playing against a Grandmaster Wraith, I'm playing Life. This would actually... Ooh, you know what? Never mind. I changed my mind. Because let's say you're playing a Life-only game, and you know that they have Grandmaster Wraith. Time Mage definitely is a card that you want to have. And obviously, this is only in gold. But when you get to gold, it reduces the armor of all enemy monsters. And I think that could come in very handy in many situations. It already comes in handy for me without any of this void armor business going around, but definitely in the future. And I don't think, there's nothing else for this card. So let's just check common cards now. One card I did leave out. Oh, where is it? Never mind. It's a common. Lone Boatman. Now, Lone Boatman is another card that has armor repair. Now, you need to get him up to maxed silver, which is level 5, and obviously with the price that he is per BCX, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. You're probably going to pay about $1 per BCX to get him up around that level. But his stock does go up. Now, he doesn't benefit anymore from General Sloan, but does provide maybe one of the most benefits. One of the best benefits across Chaos Legion summoners. So actually, when you look at it, he can kind of go back and forth with either of them, providing some kind of benefit in both situations. Now, let's see here. The other 2 cards that I think would have a lot of value in this. Well, actually, no, there's going to be 3 that I'm going to call out here. The first is Crystal Jaguar. Now, this is an untamed card, and you have to get it to level 4, which is technically silver eligible to get Thorns. And the reason that I'm excited about Thorns is because of Amplify. So now, with the fact that he's 4 mana, he becomes a great kind of smaller, lower mana summoner that can benefit not only from the Void armor and the armor, but also providing some damage back through the Thorns. I keep going back to not the market. The other card here, which could potentially be your replacement for Shield Bearer, and from a cost standpoint, definitely, is Chaos Knight. Because Chaos Knight, you get Shield at level 1. So now the fact that Chaos Knight is going to have Shield at level 1 plus Void armor and an additional armor, I think is going to make him a fantastic replacement in the modern format. Again, Shield Bearer has Taunt, which can be very valuable, but not everybody can spend $15 per BCX versus, what is this, 15 cents per BCX? So I think Shield Bearer is somebody that could definitely benefit from this as well. And then the last one that I have here for these cards is going to be Blinding Reflector. Now, Blinding Reflector at silver level, so max for silver level 5, you get Magic Reflect. And right now, I believe this is the only card in Chaos Legion that has Magic Reflect. So this is very, very important to have as another protection, which will be amplified, right? He's probably one of the biggest winners. I know I keep saying that, but when you look at it, he gets a ton of benefits because he gets an additional armor. He gets Void armor, which gets added on to what he has here. Plus, he already has Magic Reflect built in. So you get to pair that up with Amplify, and you're sitting pretty because now you can both heal him and repair his armor for only 3 mana. Only 3 mana. Like that's a pretty sweet deal. The last thing that I will look at, well, I guess there's 2 other things that we could look at. So we could look at some of the neutral cards as well. Now, for this, I would say Chain Golem already has Void. So, you know, it's a Void armor is going to be nice just because of the fact that he's going to become almost Grum-like in many situations, which I think could be great. Obviously without the Bloodlust, but he also has Shield and Piercing. So Chain Golem, I think, is someone that will benefit greatly from this as well. Cornelius gets Thorns as well as Return Fire and Magic Reflect at the higher levels. So this is another card that pairs with both General Sloan as well as this card. So as well as Grandmaster Wraith. So lots of really great. What is that called? Neutral cards as well. Is this a Thorns guy too? No, he's not Thorns. So just looking off the top of my head here, I think that's all I really got for you with the neutral cards. And the last thing that I want to go back to, I mean, even like Disintegrator could benefit, right? Built in with some armor already, especially at silver level, you're going to get, 3 armor. So now all of a sudden he's not so susceptible to magic. So a lot of this I think is going to make anti-magic decks much more powerful. I do think that Legionnaire Alvar gets devalued, not like in an absolute standpoint, because I think Legionnaire Alvar still is one of my favorite cards to use in many situations. But now if I'm playing Life, I don't necessarily need to go with Legionnaire Alvar because I'm going to get that Void armor with one of the other tanks that could provide something else. But in terms of using Legionnaire Alvar in a slew of other situations, or maybe I want to still pair him with like General Sloan, having that is nice, obviously with the Giant Killer and Demoralize as well. So last thing here that we're going to go to are the rewards cards. So let's see, were there any? No, I wouldn't say that there's too many rewards cards here. Obviously, Gargoyle Devil could be someone that you look, oh, never mind. Oh my gosh, we're going to have some fun with the rewards cards too. Guys, check this out. So Gargoyle Lion just got a huge buff in my opinion, because at level 5 you're gonna get Void, and so now the addition of Void armor makes him almost like a mini Grum, right, where you have that combination of Void and Void armor. So I'm actually a big fan of this, and obviously when you get him maxed for gold, he gets an additional armor here. So this is I think this gives a lot of value to Gargoyle Lion, and if you're not jumping on this card as it is currently under what, a penny, 2 pennies, I mean, yeah, 0.018. I think this is a card that could benefit tremendously from that. Gargoyle Devil doesn't have too much. I mean, I think it's great to be able to have this so that now, with only 3 health or even 4 health at the higher levels, you can't really sneak past. So I'm a fan of both the Gargoyles here getting a little bit of a buff from it. But in terms of other cards that would be modern format eligible, I don't really see anything that is catching my fancy. I mean, yeah, it doesn't come with armor, although it actually Onyx Sentinel, never mind. There's a lot of great cards here, guys. There's so many great cards. This is crazy. So here's another card that has Thorn's Return Fire, already has Void, and with the summoner is going to have oh my goodness, is going to have an armor added onto it. So now you will be able to benefit from that Void armor and armor repair because you're going to get that armor automatically. Gosh, this card is going to be fantastic to pair. There's going to be so many really, really good cards to play with. And then obviously everybody who likes Almo. I mean, Almo's just, who doesn't like Almo, right? So I don't even need to go into this, but you got Return Fire and Magic Reflect. I mean, this is definitely going to be a fun card to pair with Grandmaster Wraith. I was almost about to call him General Wraith. So last thing we'll do, let's just go over and look at the life cards. Pelacor Conjurer was the only one that came to mind or top of mind. And I think that is going to be one of the bigger benefits here. You get Magic Reflect at level 4. So that is going to be one of your other options for anti-magic. In terms of like having like a tank or even like a secondary tank. I use this all the time. Warrior of Peace, no, I mean, you get silence there, but that's not really kind of synergizing as well. I mean, anything anti-magic is going to synergize well, but yeah, that's, man, okay, so you saw, we went through a bunch of different cards that I think are all going to benefit greatly from this. Life, which has been suffering from magic spam for quite a long time, especially at the lower levels. That is where I think it gets hit quite a bit because you don't have Pelacor Conjurer with Magic Reflect and you don't have Blinding Reflector with Magic Reflect until the higher levels. And then there's nobody else really with like Void or Void Armor that you can kind of play at those levels, especially for, you know, different kind of mana that you'd need at Bronze. And then Crystal Werewolf is not going to be modern format eligible either, and you get Silence here at level 1. So, you know, there's a lot of cards that I think are going to benefit tremendously from this. You know, this dude already has Void Armor, so I guess that's not really a benefit. But let me know if there was something that I missed. Again, I'm only focused on modern format. Let me know if there was something that I missed that I'm not seeing here. But as it stands, for 6 mana, 3 pretty great abilities, and a lot of synergy across the board, I'm already a big fan of Grandmaster Wraith, and I think this card is going to set a fantastic tone for all of the upcoming legendary summoners. Again, with it being 6 mana, it makes it very competitive. In fact, maybe even more competitive than some of the older summoners. Now, I know they probably don't want to create another Jotun or another Kitty or another Llama type situation, cards that can be just so overpowering. But the fact that they're going to give us cards that have a good selection of abilities for cheaper mana, I like the direction that this is going. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I missed anything. But other than that, that's all I got for you. So have an amazing rest of your day. I will catch you all in the next video, and I will see you around the game. Take care.